The crisis in Israel is now coming to the United States, and there is not much that we can do about it. Today I'm going to address what's happening, how thousands of people could potentially be losing their lives, and so much more. I want to address how your bank account could be hit extremely hard, how crude oil prices will affect everything that we use and touch, and what to expect moving forward. So make sure you stick around for this entire video, and I'll explain exactly what is going on. According to a report today, a strike on Gaza killed more than 500 people, according to a Palestinian report. Now, this is just the start. This is just the beginning. Now we have President Biden making his way over to Israel. Look at this. It says Israel-Hamas war. Biden to visit Israel on Wednesday in show of support. That is tomorrow, October 18th. Says Biden will speak with Israeli leaders on how to prevent unnecessary civilian casualties in the Gaza Strip as it continues to be targeted by airstrikes. That is very important to know. This is extremely important because now President Biden is going to go to Israel, put his feet on the ground, talk with Israeli leaders. The crisis is coming to America. The crisis is coming to the United States. But according to multiple reports, lawmakers are now saying that the White House must punish Iran over these Hamas attacks. But why? Well, it's because Iran is believed that Iran is helping to fund Hamas because of oil. The revenue that Iran gets from oil, they're using to fund Hamas. That's a problem. This war is also causing oil prices to go back up. They are surging. Now, one thing I can tell you is that this is a very difficult time, simply because initially oil prices were going down. They were up a little bit over $90. They started coming down. Now they're coming back up. This is a result of this war between Israel and Gaza. But now experts worry that because of Iran getting in the middle of this, the United States is going to place sanctions on them. And once we see sanctions placed on Iran, that's going to cause prices here in the United States to go up even more. Reports indicate that Iran's oil revenue has been the leading source of funding for this war from Hamas, not from Israel. So, what can we expect when oil prices go up? Well, here's some of the worries. One is just insurance. I actually got a call from my insurance agent just today and told me that be prepared, that we need to either pretty much re-up our insurance and go for another year and just pay it, or you have to risk that your insurance premiums could go up. And he said that because insurance jumps in price once oil increases. Why? Well, think about it. It doesn't matter if it's your car or your house. Let's say your house burns down and you need to go and buy more lumber. Well, lumber, how does it get into the United States? Well, it uses fuel. It needs fuel to get transported into the United States. Let's say you want to get a faucet, and the faucet isn't made here in the United States. It's made in Europe. How does it get here to the United States? It has to be shipped. A ship doesn't run on hopes and dreams. It runs on fuel. That fuel is going to be that cost is going to be transferred over to you. Same thing when you talk about a car. Let's say your car gets in an accident. Parts of that car could be coming from outside the United States. For example, Europe. Maybe you have a Volkswagen and you need parts that are shipped over from Europe. Guess what? It costs you a little bit more money. Maybe a BMW or a Mercedes, right? It costs you a little bit more money. So if your car gets in an accident and it needs a new fender, it needs some new pieces to it, it's a brand new car, guess what? You're not going to go find it at the junkyard. You got to go and order the new part. Yeah, it's going to cost you more money. So that's one of the worries. Another one, we've also learned this week that the American people are struggling to keep up with their credit card debt. The delinquency rates on credit cards are now at 9% for those between the ages of 18 and 29%, or 29 years old. That's 9%. That's double what it was about 2 years ago. So because all the stimulus has stopped, because now interest rates are going up, because people are not working as much, their increase in wages isn't going up as quickly, we are seeing more and more Americans struggle just to keep up with their credit card debt. Now, it doesn't stop there. Again, the crisis is continuing and it's hitting us here in the United States. Here's another issue I want to show you. This says, Representative Jim Jordan falls short of House speakership. No more votes tonight. What does this mean? Who is Representative Jim Jordan and what's he trying to get voted in for? Well, he's trying to be voted as the next House Speaker. Well, look at this. It says Representative Jim Jordan, a conservative firebrand allied with former President Donald Trump, failed to win over enough Republican holdouts to reach a majority on the House floor to become the next Speaker. Just to give you an idea, he actually did get a decent amount of votes. He got 200 votes. The problem is you need 217 to become the House Speaker. He didn't get that. It says the Ohio Republican confirmed Tuesday evening there would not be another round of voting until at least 11 a.m. on Wednesday. So again, Wednesday is going to be a very important day. This is going to be potentially when we have another vote for the speakership and also when President Biden will land in Israel to speak with leaders. But this article goes on to say, Jordan is seeking to succeed Representative Kevin McCarthy out of California, who was ousted as Speaker 2 weeks ago. Jordan became the Republican nominee after Steve Scalise, the first choice of the GOP conference, withdrew from the race last week. And he only withdrew simply because he did not have enough votes and he knew he wasn't going to get it. One thing I can tell you is that right now, this speakership issue is massive. This is one of the reasons why there's a lot of problems here in the United States or coming into the United States, simply because right now lawmakers want additional funding for Ukraine, again, which is another issue, and we're not going to touch on that today. Then we also want funding for Israel. Again, this is something that's pressing and they need the money immediately. Then we have a government funding bill that has to be passed within 1 month on November 17th. So 31 days from today, we have to get this bill passed or else the U.S. government would shut down. Again, if we shut down, how many bills do you think we're going to pass? Not very many. You think we're going to be much support to Israel if this war is going to continue on for an additional month? No. If we shut down, do you think China would have a more likely, it would be much more likely for them to go and invade Taiwan? Yes, it would be much more likely. So this is why this is turning into a massive issue. This Israel crisis is just the beginning, but some are saying this is what's going to cause these crises to enter here into the United States, and this will be more profound. So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but I just want to keep you up to date on what's actually happening and how you could potentially be affected. So, that is what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.